Hi folks, as you are aware, I do have a love-hate relationship with Seat Leons. However, the third generation Leon is a car that I'm actually quite fond of. It's cheap, doesn't scream I was bought by a salesman, and it makes for a great looking estate car. And so, with all that being said, let's begin my review of it. Firstly, I'd like to give a big massive shout out to the owner, Adi, for letting me review his car. He actually has his own YouTube channel called Godolo Gaming, where he has a massive series on Lord of the Rings Rise to War. So if you are into any of that, make sure to check his channel out. All links will be in the description box below. So let's talk Leon, and there's now 4 generations of it and 3 different body styles you can buy. We all know it's based off the Golf chassis, and Seat is seen as the sportier brand out of the two because of its sharp creases. Seat actually are very proud of this, although I'd rather the company brag about its handling of the car and how good it is instead of some sharp creases. The model variant that I'm reviewing today is the 2019 FR Sport TSI Evo with the 1.5 litre petrol engine producing 148 brake horsepower and 184 pounds-foot of torque. 0 to 60 times are around 8.2 seconds, and it will top out at 134 miles per hour. Pretty nippy for a 1.5 litre petrol engine. Given the Leon originally comes in hatchback form, you're probably wondering how long it is when turned into an estate. Well, I can tell you it's about 4.5 meters. Comparing that to an Audi A6 Avant, that's about 5 meters, and you can start picturing the image. But that doesn't mean the Leon estate doesn't have space though. Boot capacity comes to about 565 litres with the rear seats up, and 1,500 litres of space with the rear seats folded down. And as you can see, it fits a pram perfectly well without any issue. The Leon is a fairly priced car to run too. Car tax comes to about £165 per year as it emits 120 grams per kilometre of CO2, and it's based in Insurance Group 21. Therefore, insurance for the younger generation won't be atrocious, and they won't have to take out telematics, which is one of the worst things and unsafest things you could ever do. Moving towards the front of the Seat Leon, and the reason I'm here is because of these headlights. Now, as nice and sleekish as they look, these at night cause mass amounts of glare to other road users, killing their vision, and it is a nightmare. I know a Seat Leon at night is coming towards me when I see these headlights. Anyway, as a Seat Leon driver and owner, who really cares? You're not bothered, you're not driving their car, so we'll forget about it. In this review, I won't film a rear seat section because I've already filmed the rear seat section in my Seat Leon hatchback review, and the back of this isn't too dissimilar to the back of that car. And from that video, we knew that there was plenty of legroom, plenty of headroom, and we'll just stick to that. Anyway, let's move over to the front where the interesting stuff begins. Next up, the interior, and personally I really like the clean, simple design of this dash. It's actually pretty smart and not gaudy. Many people say that this car, the interior even, is a little bit more drab than the Golf interior, but I definitely disagree with that statement. New to the Leon is this digital screen. Now, directly at the top you can see a bunch of menus you can cycle through. There's a compass in there, and depending on what you want to see, you could pretty much manipulate this view. So for example, if you wanted to see the audio, you could click OK and it will just cover the whole screen. It's pretty cool. In the volume settings, there's an option called maximum switch on volume, which basically means it sets the volume for the infotainment system when you first switch on the car. Now, this is a great feature for me because the last thing I want is blaring music at 7 o'clock in the morning on the way to work when you first switch on the car. Of course, this car is a 2019 model, and that means it comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But I want to talk about the infotainment system, the surround. There are these 2 buttons, and they are the most intuitive buttons you could ever find in an infotainment system button display configuration thing. Anyway, I think I've spoken enough. Let's hit the road and see what this car's like to drive. So ladies and gents, now let's go for a drive in the 2019 Seat Leon estate. And I have to say, even though it's the FR Sport variant, it's still very soft. I've just come out of a Mini Cooper John Cooper Works, and the ride in that car is way too stiff for me. This car feels very planted to the road, comfortable, and a very competent car. I think it's based off the MQB platform, as VW Group say, and that in itself, we all know, is a well-handling chassis anyway, so I kind of know this car's going to handle well, and I've driven the hatchback, and I was very impressed by it. I have to say, I cannot believe how thin these floppy paddles are. They are so thin, it's like a slice of cheese. Who designed this? It is not good at all. No, not a fan of it at all. But on the FR Sport point, this car has your G-force meters, lap timers. I think they're quite unnecessary. I don't know why they've added that in. But can it pull up to its performance? 8.2 seconds to 60. It's all right. It's quick. It's not going to chirp the tyres. The steering wheel is probably the highlight of this car for me, and it does complement the steering and handling of this car very well as well. Seat have done a really good job with this. And the Mark IV generation, I think that's a pile of crap. I have to say this, I think that is just horrendous. I am not a fan of the Mark IV. I never will be. One feature that I didn't mention in my main half of the review was the fact that it does have auto dipping mirrors on the left side. So that helps you, I guess it prevents you from curbing your rims. I mean, given the alloys are quite big on this car, it's quite vital. And we are in manual mode. Well, yeah, let's just check out what this car's like to drive in sport. Right, on the motorway. That's 70. Okay, now if you do have kids, guys, I would not recommend getting some rear window sunshades because it just blocks your blind spot. I cannot see anything behind the B-pillar. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is pull over and switch over to point of view cam so you guys get a perspective of what it's like to drive a Seat Leon Estate. So let me pull over and I'll whack my camera onto my head. So here we have it, ladies and gents, point of view in the 2019 Seat Leon Estate. Let's take our foot off the brake and hit the road. From your guys' perspective, what do you think of the interior of this car? As you can see, the dials change. That is super cool, isn't it? I do love that. It's perfect. Haven't seen it in many other cars, but let's just exit this roundabout in a nice manner. Here we go, and then put our foot down a little bit, get up to national speed limit. So it picks up pace pretty quick. This is a little bit cheap, the horn. Everything else feels very, very plush. I say that, yeah, no, this is squidgy plastic. This is nice here. Door handle, buttons, actually quality. I love the fact that you also get a leather armrest, and especially in the DSG, all you got to do is rest your left arm on the armrest and the gear stick and you're cruising. Anyway, one thing I've not checked in this car is the fuel economy. Currently on the main display, the digital cockpit, it's saying since start we've been doing 31 to the gallon, and that's fair enough, we've been testing it out a little bit. On the infotainment system, there are a few different journeys, and since refueling, it says 51 miles, 35 to the gallon. That is, okay, long term, you're getting about 42 mpg. That's decent, okay, cut it some slack. And that's over 800 miles. So 42 to the gallon over 800 miles, that is what you're expecting. But if you are opting to buy a Seat Leon, it's the FR Sport you go for. It's always going to be that one, because you just get the fact that it's not that pricey and there's a bunch of options and equipment, technology you get with the car. So yeah, it is honestly the one to go for. Always is, always will be. So that's the in-depth tour and review on the 2019 Seat Leon Estate. There's no denying this car is really good against its rivals such as the Peugeot 308, the Vauxhall Astra, Ford Focus and even Honda Civic. But the only real competitor of this car in this year is the Mark 10 generation Honda Civic, and unfortunately that car doesn't get offered in estate form. And so I hope that answers your question. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.